ethics, principles, and brand value, all these things. So you are right that government has grown this textile mill industry in Bangladesh, starting with 25% cash incentive. So if our honorable ministers and our chief patron, the honorable Prime Minister, she is very business friendly. If we can submit a composite paper to the government, the way we can develop our textile mills, especially man-made fiber, I think it will be possible. Thank you very much.
Mr. Esan, Mr. Mohidin has said properly, whatever we the ministries are here, all the ministries, because this is a composite factor, it's a finance, commerce and everything, and textile. We have to all go to the one man, that is our Prime Minister. If you like, if you have a composite paper, we all minister can go with you to the Prime Minister and finish it properly. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Minister. And there was a question at the back, the lady at the back.
Hello, sir. I am Roxana Islam. First of all, I thanks to all. This information is really informative, and I learned lots of things. But one question is in my mind that after the consumption, which means we are the customer, we purchase the dress, but after some years, when the dress are old, so what we do, we throw it into environment, and that is harmful. It is not only pollute the soil, as well as it pollute the air. So what actually you have planned to stop this type of waste? Informative, and I learned lots of things. But one question is in my mind, or do you have any type of advice that we will follow, we young generation will follow to stop this type of waste? After some years,
that's a brilliant question. Thank you. I'm going to ask each of the panel for a 1 minute.
Okay. The recycling is a very buzzword at the moment. There is a concept called t-shirt to t-shirt. We are post and pre-waste consumption that is being recycled. Like now, even in Bangladesh, we have these jute panels on the cut jutes that we convert it to fiber and then make it to yarn and then t-shirt. So this is something where the entire world is looking at. I think the Walmart, Sridevi can elaborate more what they have done, but there are brands about it. So hopefully this will not go into landfill in very soon. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. For your kind information, Mr. Aziz's presentation, at the moment, the Bangladesh have the post and pre-recycle, the cotton and the after garments, total of the 250 million kg recycle we are at the moment. We start already recycling yarn. If the 250 million kg we reuse and the recycling, our 15% reduce of the cotton import. And last we start, this year we are approached to the NVR and to government, the Honorable Prime Minister. This year it will be the withdraw all the VAT tax and everything. Hopefully the recycling yarn increase in Bangladesh. We already started, and we already every day the 1,000 tons at the moment we the recycling yarn produce. Hopefully it will the next year 2,000 ton, and it is day by day increase. And all the pollution or the polluted, it will not this yarn at the dumping, it will be the reuse and recycling.
Thank you.
Actually, you know that this is the main stakeholder in our customer side, especially our consumer in Europe and America and others country. Consumer are using all of our product. So if they can, or that means buyers and brands, they collect or use materials and they can send back to us, and we can go for the recycling.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Wonderful question. It's very relevant at this time. And what the previous panelists already touched upon is the customers need to collect the post-consumer waste and send it back to the industrial countries. So here there's a big barrier because we won't be able to import used clothing back into Bangladesh duty-free. So that's why we don't play in this market. This has to be done, the recycling has to be done abroad unless there's a policy change there. However, what we are very good at and what our chairman just said is we are doing pre-consumer recycling. In this case, we already know the composition of the fiber, we already know the color of the fiber, so we can segregate and we can recycle to make colored fabrics from the recycled waste jutes. And this is very eco-friendly because these garments don't need to be dyed or no chemical is used for these. So this is where the focus is for Bangladesh
Brilliant.
at the moment.
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you for the question. Actually, there can be a pollution. The final product we export, there's a demand for the outside world, not for our own country, is outside world. So if the outside world, they like to import man-made fiber, that's their headache. That's their headache what to do with the waste. If they want that they should be recycled in it, they can export us, and then there should be a policy to duty-free, as he told, as Mr. Chaudhary has told, duty-free. That time we can think of it. But this time is world demand is man-made fiber. We can go with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable Mr. Muhyiddin.
Thank you very much. Now recycling, green and all those things is end of the day, it's a very catchy word. Sounds nice. But reality, again, we have seen the increase of man-made fiber. The demand, why? It's a price. It's a price. So, I don't want to, we are in a global village. Bangladesh lives in a global village. So future world is, we have to comply all these issues. We did not know before when we started the journey of textile and garments that we have to set effluent treatment plant. Now, every factory has mandatory, they have to set this. So this kind of recycling, polluting environment is a kind of awareness. It's a collective awareness will drive you to take the necessary action to save this Mother Earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr.
As in my presentation, you have also seen that there's a pre-consumer waste. First is that we are trying to reduce our wastage, and we are going to use all our waste, the jute, and setting up more factories here. We are already, in Bangladesh, already there are 3 big factories set up, and we believe that more factories are coming. We are trying to make a recycle hub Bangladesh. Right now, many of our waste are using as a landfill, but I can promise you that taking all the support from the government and the stakeholders, Bangladesh is going to be a recycle hub in next few years' time.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. And a view from one of the world's largest retailers.
Thank you. Thanks for the question. As I mentioned, we are definitely sustainable fibers and fabrics, whether that's cotton or man-made fabrics. And one of the things I didn't mention is we're also encouraging suppliers to increase the content of recycled materials, whatever the source may be. So clearly this is an area, and I agree with what all of the other panelists have said, we need to work together. We each have a role to play, and we will continue to do what we can to build that demand for sustainable recycled content, and therefore really change the product composition. And I'm confident that with all of our joint efforts, we'll be in the right direction.
Thank you. Great questions. Thank you. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our guest of honour, Mr. Mohiuddin MP, ex-president of FBCCI and a leading industrialist with great experience in this sector.
Look how big the volume. I have a speech. Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Morki Forjeen is Director General of Import and Export in UK, right? Okay. chief guest, he is very much directly involved with this industry, Mr. Ghulam Dastagir. He is a freedom fighter. His the biggest and honorable identity is that he is a freedom fighter. Because of him, because of people like him, the Bangladesh has been liberated under the leadership of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib. And thank you very much for Minister to be our chief guest. Keynote presenter, Mr. Farooq Hassan, elaborately presented, and recently he has, given a vision of $50 billion by 2030. And made in Bangladesh, it is under his leadership, he has given this plan of action to achieve. Young director of BTMEA, Textile Mill Association, Azizur Rahman, he is a very, we are hearing his beautiful presentation and elaborate with very much, of course, statistics. One point I must mention here, young man, that Bangladesh is not anymore enjoying the cheap labor. It's a competitive labor. Because when we compare the efficiency and other components of labor, Bangladesh is every year, by law, increase the wages of the workers 5%, because you all know our inflation was less than 6% we have enjoyed. Today's phenomenon is different because of the Ukraine-Russia war and COVID. China has turned into zero COVID policy, supply chain disruption, lot of issues. These are all external reasons. What we did after Rana Plaza incidents, we have changed the law and ensure and remove all the ambiguities of the laws. And it's a continuous process we have been doing. Because our leader, Honorable Prime Minister, she is a leader of the laborers, she is a leader of the industry, she is a true leader, visionary. So we all make rules, small things, which is create irritation amongst the dissatisfaction among the workers. We remove that. So 5% auto increment are there, and rest, those who are efficient worker, they bargain to their management that I need this much of salary or I'm leaving. This kind of freedom, empowerment has been taken place in Bangladesh. So, and this year, on top of that, industry has an impression that we have done it for, correction of wages. But unfortunately, we have to sit this year, is a fifth year, every fifth year there is a review of wages. Wage board has been declared, and we are going to review again another hike. In this 14 years, 382% increase of wage of the workers. Actually, the way mainstream media is portraying our labor condition, labor standard, which is very, misinformation, I should say. Yesterday, I just asked when Mr. Richard Quest of CNN started grilling my two ministers, I was asking him a question. I watched one program in CNN throwing a coin and said that this country is producing garments by less than a dime a day. Workers, his earning means penalties, overtimes, bonuses, These are not in his calculation, and he doesn't know today what progress as Sri Devi, my colleague, we have been working together for a long time, making the sustainable industry, ethical industry. When you criticize, you have to criticize both. It has to be a constructive criticism. Where we need to be criticized, you must criticize. Improvement, as Sri Devi mentioned, that in safety issue, in terms of structural integrity, in terms of electrical safety, fire safety, we can claim we are the world best champion. This is how the Bangladesh is. So here, our leaders, Mr. Mohammad Ali Khokon, representing Bangladesh textile industry, Mr. Hatem, he is a very experienced campaigner, my colleague, my friend. He is the executive president of BKMEA. Sri Devi comes from all the way, always she comes. Whenever the crisis, whenever the improvement necessary, she represents the world's largest retailer, Walmart. So she has come, thank you very much for, and the young leader, Mr. Asif Ashraf, director BGMEA, and he knows the man-made fiber age technology he has been using. Santroni or something like that, right? Total garments comes from without not that much of prestige. So Bangladesh is transforming, Bangladesh is going for, high. Bangladesh is improving. The questions of ethical buying. Some things are lying with the world, importing countries, something we have our internal. External reason, we have no control on COVID, which is unprecedented. We have seen, even we don't know whether it is man-made or lab leak or natural. We don't know. Yet to be answered. Ukraine, Russia, uncalled, unjust, unnecessary war we have involved because of the shortage of quality leadership in the world. We don't have external reason. Internally, what we can improve to make a sustainable industry, we must, from our part, we have to play. From government, we need a consistent policy support as we are enjoying. I draw the attention of Sri Devi that we need a code of conduct, uniform code of conduct. After this Sustainability Compact Agreement, we have created Alliance Accord followed by RSC. They are checking the safety issues. Again, if brands send Nirapon or Aldi send their own way of inspection, it will be an inspection industry rather than, manufacturing industry. So I would believe that you will convey this message because this inspection fatigue, actually, industry are struggling. I'm concluding with this. When Bangladesh started this textile journey in 1980s, middle of 80s, 84, quota has been imposed, industry has been shaken, whether this industry will be viable, then we survive. When quota has lifted in 2004, beginning of 2005, World Bank, Getty report, lots of international and national garment is not viable industry for Bangladesh. We, the resilient entrepreneur of Bangladesh, prove, and the policy of the government has proved that we can. That's why today we are here. And I believe that we should not be afraid of this COVID. It's a country of Sido, Raila, Sitrang, It's a lot of natural phenomenon we have seen. Bengalis have the courage to turn around, and when Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib and Liberation War took place, after that he has asked a question, how would you be able to build this country? Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib said, if my people are there, if my fertile lands are there, we will rebuild this country. And we will achieve the goal of this $100 economy, inshallah. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Brilliant and inspiring speech. Thank you, Mr. Mohideen MP. Now, we have, before the chief guest ceremony, there are a couple of short announcements, so I'll hand over for those. Sorry.